that he really needs to specifically work on? Like he seemed to get hit with a lot of the same punches he got hit against Paulie with. And
yeah, then he was getting hit over the top. See? Dude kept, it was kind of wide, but he was coming over the top, catching Broner. And man, that something like that would have been real easy to roll off the shoulder. You know, and hey, he didn't do it.
Right. And as far as power, you think it's there? I mean, you think that was one thing that really hurt him there, was that Maidana didn't really have to respect his power? He didn't seem to be able to hurt him?
What about the power?
Do you think, I mean, the fact that he didn't really carry the power up with them to 147, Broner did, and do you think that was really helped Maidana a lot because he didn't really have to respect Broner and his power?
Well, he
kind of the way Paulie, you know, he didn't respect Paulie's power when they fought.
Well, Paulie, we know Paulie is not a big puncher, but like I said, man, Broner is a different thing from Paulie. You know, I'm just saying, he beat Paulie, but I'm saying Broner is a different thing from Paulie than he is with Maidana. He's a guy that can punch pretty good, but I don't think his punch was landing that hard. Broner's punch was landing that hard because he was throwing arm punches. You know, he didn't sit down on those punches. Yeah. See, most times you hear people when they sit down on their punches, man, you'll hear a grind or something. They're gonna do something, man. You gonna hear some kind of sound most of the time. When you put your power in with the sound.
All right. The last question. Obviously, your son is one of the most outspoken, verbal type fighters out there. Broner is obviously like to the next level almost. How do you think a loss like this will affect him, and should it? If you were advising him, do you advise him to maybe change his personality a little bit or keep going where he is, or
no,
how do you think it'll affect him?
I ain't gonna tell him to change no personality. I'm gonna tell him to change his trainer. That's what he's gonna do. If you want to get where you want to get, it's on him what he want to do. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I'm more than glad with that. But hey, because I'm not the one that's trying to climb those ladders and talk stuff and get my ass whooped. So you ain't got to worry about me. I'm just telling you the way it is. If you want to get it right, you better take a bite off of this old man right here.
Right. So do you think, just to follow up on that, do you think it will? I mean, how when you have someone like that comes off a loss like that, as a former fighter yourself, how do you think that will affect him? I mean, do you think it'll change him a little bit as far as you know, his personality?
I'm gonna tell you like this right here. I think that he should come back, get his revenge. You ain't gotta say the first fight or the second fight. By the time the third fight, he should be good enough at that point. I done taught him enough to where he can do what he needs to do to stop this guy. I'm telling you right now, I can have him walk right to that guy. The same thing my son did to Arias, and don't get hit, fire back, take care of your business, stay on the case, and run your place.
So he does that and looks you up, he'll be good to go, right?
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Floyd.
Yeah.
I thought Maidana had an excellent game plan. It seemed that Robert Garcia and his team did their job. They came prepared for the fight. They were 100% in shape, what it looked like. And I think this was just like a humbling experience for Broner. He got to slow down just a little bit. You know, he does have a lot of talent. He showed a lot of things in that fight. He showed a lot of heart. He showed a lot of will to win. Regardless that he was losing, regardless that he went down, he got up like a true champ and continued to fight. It seemed like his jaw was broke for a good amount of the fight, and he still was fighting. So Broner showed a lot as well. You know, he just showed, you know, he needs to slow down a little bit. You know, obviously these tougher guys, you know, these fights get tougher and tougher. So you got to take your job more seriously. I think it's just a humbling experience. I think Broner will bounce back like a true champion that he is. Like I said, he showed a lot of things, and Maidana, you know, props to him and his team. Again, Robert Garcia came out with an excellent game plan. They said Broner takes the first 2 rounds off. They was going to jump on him, and that's exactly what they did. And I feel like those first 2 rounds dictated the whole fight. You know, he hurt Broner. Broner felt his power, and it was a completely different story once Maidana did what he had to do. So you know, it was a great fight. It was a great fight for boxing fans. It was a great fight for boxing boxing in general. It's going to make things a lot trickier now. You know that welterweight divisions are stacked. Yeah. You know, and but it was overall it was a great weekend for boxing.
Well, speaking of
The body good. I figured that he just throw the body a little more, but Maidana came with a different game plan, rushed him, used his size on him. I think Broner needs to go back, go down to 35, then go to 140, grow in the weight class, because it looks like he just got, you can see the strength difference. Looked like he just got thrown out there and was a little too, not strong enough for that weight class.
why did you see it coming, Ryan?
That's what I said. I seen it coming.
Because he speaks Spanish. That's the only reason why.
Oh, he's rooting for the ethnic group, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
He's like a fake ass butt in, butt out.
So you answered Mo. What do you think he needs to do, Ryan? What does Broner need to do? Because a lot of people had him as the next superstar. So what do you think he needs to do?
He needs to humble himself and go back to the drawing board.
That's the one thing I want to ask you, Mo. Is a guy that a lot of people have strong opinions about. A lot of people were really quick and ready to jump on him when he lost. How do you deal with that when you come, when you have people, a lot of haters jumping on you when you lose and are excited about that?
It's like this. His biggest loss is better than the biggest win. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. All he has to do is go back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? And just start from scratch to build off his mistakes. I think the next star is Errol Spence.
Yeah. Errol Spence, yeah. Change the attitude or just keep going like he is and don't let it bother him?
What's the change? People made an opinion about him off of his attitude. Just go back to the drawing board, train hard, train smart. Because the thing is, if he try to be all humble like that, people still talk shit about him from the past. It makes no difference. Just be yourself, man. Have fun.
Thanks for Mo, and thanks for your in-depth analysis, Ryan. Appreciate that.
That foot that he sampled on his chin, he never fully recovered from that punch. And Maidana just kept the pressure on. And then what made it good for Maidana is he applied his jab.
Who did you have going into the fight, and were you surprised by the outcome?
No, I wasn't surprised because listen, you fight for the championship of the world. You know what I'm saying? The championship is not yours. Always remember that. And at that point, he borrowed it for a few days. And that's what happened. He borrowed it, and Maidana took it.
Well, that's the one knock on, or at least I should say one thing people had questioned about Broner was moving up in weight class if he'd be able to take a punch. Obviously, he didn't handle Maidana too well. Do you think that he can stay there at 147? Do you think he can handle, or do you think he needs to move back down?
My opinion. Now, this is just my opinion. I think he should move down.
Where do you think, 140 or?
140.
140?
Yeah.
Do you think, so you'd advise it to, that was your fighter?
Right.
All right, then, do you think he will?
That's on him. I mean, there's a lot of money at 147 pounds.
Right. Other than that, now, what do you think about what he needs to work on? I mean, obviously he took a lot of damage. He took a lot of hits, susceptible to the left hook a lot in the fight. What does he need to work on as far as his defense goes?
There's only one Floyd. You got to put that in his repertoire. You can't beat Floyd. There's only one Floyd. They broke that mold after they made it. So he need to come up with another situation.
Yeah, speaking of Floyd, do you think that's one thing a lot of fighters mistakenly try to do because Floyd's so great at defense, they think if they kind of do the same thing he does, they'll be just as good when actually his style really only works for him?
Again, there's only one Floyd. Now, Floyd didn't invent the shoulder roll. That's been out, but Floyd took the shoulder roll to another level. That's what he did.
So abandon the shoulder roll, basically.
Oh man, you gotta throw that out, man. Right. Yeah, leave that low.
And then, Broner's obviously a guy that is very polarizing. A lot of people love to hate him. A loss like this, do you think it humbles him? And if you were his trainer, would you advise him to change a little or stay the same way? Because love or hate, as long as they have a strong opinion about it, it still makes money. So as far as personality goes, do you think he'll change it all? And
well, listen, you gotta find your own style. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do that. Once you find your own style, find out who you are, then you can commit to fighting again.
All right, thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Well, my thoughts on the fight was he didn't put in the effort that he should have. Don't look like he prepared properly for the fight. He didn't use his craftiness like he should against the kid.
Were you surprised that he lost the fight? I mean, he was a big favorite going in.
Yeah, I was surprised, but I don't really put a lot on Broner. I'm not a big Broner fan.
Well, he's a guy that's well known for being brash and saying a lot. So do you think this will change him in any way?
Well, if so, he's got to learn that most people are paying to see him lose. They're not paying to see him win. You know, he's getting ready to go through the same scenario as Muhammad Ali did. You know, people paid to see him lose. They didn't pay to see him win.
So even though you're not necessarily a fan, like you said, you still stick to his guns and not change his personality?
Yeah, well, his personality has nothing to do with it, but if he didn't...
As far as they're paying to see him lose, all right, the more you're...
Yeah, but I mean, his persona, I mean, then he brought... Just with him leaving out of the ring the way he did, he better make sure that he had to go to the doctor, because they're not going to let him make that kind of money again.
Yeah. Well, he had a broken jaw, so I guess that's
I know that.
So this last saying, future him 147, or is he got to go down to 140 or even lower?
If he's probably at 147, he's got a box more. You know, he can't sit on the inside with these guys. Use his wit, his craftiness, savageness. He's got it. He's just got to go ahead and use it.
To be honest, I wasn't too surprised, but because I knew Maidana was a lot bigger. I didn't think it was gonna happen like that, but I knew it was gonna be a hard fight for Broner because the way he performed with the poly fight, I knew he wasn't too strong at 147. And Maidana was a lot strong guy.
My thing is like bang a boxer and boxer banger. Maidana applied the pressure, and you know, everything it seemed like the tactics of Broner, you know, it just wasn't prepared. Like for Maidana, power and just like athletic ability to stay on top of him like that. I feel that Broner like underestimated Maidana.
So
the results is what it was.
What should Broner do next? Move down, stay there, change his game?
I think he should move down.
Yeah, I think he should go back.
140 or 135?
I said 140.
Yeah.
Yeah, better shot.
It looked to me like the fight when Roy Jones, when he moved up to lightweight, those guys not lightweight, but light heavyweight, those guys was like way too strong for him. And it's a different punch. You know, those weighing 135 pounds is punching. And Broner felt the effects of it. So he can come back though. He got to go back to his old weight though, I feel.
And Maidana, you have to understand, he got experience fighting good boxers, like Amir Khan, Ortiz, Devin Alexander.
Yeah.
So you know, I knew he was gonna be pretty hard fight. It wasn't gonna be no easy. Broner was gonna whoop on him.
Hey, they put on a great show.
Yeah. Great fight for sure. All right, guys, get back to work.
All right, thanks.